How are you all doing? Welcome to the Animals in Denial live stream for today, which is November the 15th. I had to think for a second there. Christian will be here in a few moments. He is taking care of something at the very moment. But so last week Rage came out on all the streaming services. So you can find that there. You can also download it. Let's see. We have a new release that'll be coming out, of course, in December. On December the 6th for Operator. That will release on, December the 6th. And then some week or two after that, we will have the Operator video release as well. So that'll be probably mainly YouTube is where you'll find that most likely. But I think that's about all the updates right now. He's still working on new music. He's still always working on something. He has so many things sitting in ready. So, but yeah, so he's working on new stuff and the new releases. And of course, like I said, the Operator will release on December 6th. And then the video will follow a week or two after. Then in January, the EP Rust Covered Lust will drop late. Let me look at my calendar and I'll give you the day. Because so I think it's going to be either the 17th or the 24th. I'll update you on an exact day as soon as I have it. He has arrived.
I lost my drink. So I'm here.
Well, okay. So anyway, Christian has arrived. So without further ado, of course, the most important man in the room is here.
Said that.
I said that. What?
Oh, you did you?
I did. I did say that.
These things.
I was just saying that, Rage came out last week and Operator will release December 6th.
Nobody said anything bad about Rage. I think people like it.
It definitely fits the current mood.
There's a couple of reviews.
There are some reviews out. Yep, we've shared those on Twitter,
Reviews.
Facebook. Yeah. Let's see. Late January for the EP. You, as always, have something that you're working on. Make sure that,
Yeah.
all that fun stuff.
It's all going on. We've lots of stuff planned, though.
Talking to
We're
the microphone.
going to... You'll probably... If you were going to the Comic-Con in Columbia in January, you will see us there. We'll be hanging out.
We will.
Yeah. We will be doing those things. Also, stuff is brewing over at the website. We're rejiggering some stuff, but that's for stuff that we'll announce it, Pretty soon we'll have the store fleshed out and worked out, and you can get stuff if you want to or not. But yeah, then lots of new releases. There's going to be quite a bit of animal stuff coming. Like pretty much every 4 weeks we've got something coming out or brewing or starting and stuff, and we're going to be doing more. I'm hoping like it's everything's not in my control, but hopefully this year we'll see more of the live band thing happen and things. I've been talking to people. Things in flux. We're trying to get things together, but I think it'll come together when it's right. Like I don't like to rush things and over put too much pressure on stuff where it's like it's not happening. It's like at the end of the day, it's like it's music. It's my thing that I made. I made the songs and stuff. It's not that I've not been open to creative with people. I just work really fast and I'll start something, and by the time you know, by the time they get there to look at it, or somebody else gets to mess with it, it's pretty much done. So it's just one of those things. But it's like people have things that they're doing and stuff. This is a constant thing, and so I notice there's a lot of times it's where people have time. There's a schedule thing and stuff like that. And, at the end of the day, it's just me. So we're doing that stuff, but we've got a lot of cool stuff. Playing, I've been making tweaks and stuff. It's getting my head around video content and stuff like that. Like it's been a thing because it's like I've literally just focused on music my entire adult life. As far as what I did, so it's like video is not something that I really thought about. I looked at YouTube sometimes and things like that, but like it wasn't something that I was going, oh yeah, I'll go do that. It's like, no, I make music, so I'll put the songs out, I'll make a music video. Things like, so for me it's like, I'm interested in letting things develop and stuff like that, and constant refinement. So it's making it better and better every time. Every time that we've done one of these streams, I've come away with a page full of notes. And you could probably pay somebody to come do something or tell you some stuff. I just like figuring out, and it's how I figured out how to play all the music in the first place. It was just getting things, finding things, yeah, and just doing it. Just kind of grab bull by the horns and go. So, yeah, I taught myself how to play every instrument I play. I get the instrument, I sit down with it, and I just eventually figure it out. Guitar was that was basically making noise for the first 3 months, but like I would do it for like 6 hours a day, and
well, that turned out good.
I got suspended from school on purpose so I could go home because I calculated that it's like, ooh, that's an extra. So I ended up getting like 9-10 hours a day to play guitar. It's like I completely stopped playing video games for that nuts. Period. And then I picked video games back up after I got the hang of stuff. And really after I figured out some cowboy chords and power chords and stuff, and I could figure out stuff. But that kind of is the thing that just listening to CDs and hearing what I'm hearing, and that sounded like that was about here, but it also sounds like it could be here. Where do I want to play it? And I got into that, thinking about that the whole way. There's some stuff, like I said, there's some stuff I figure out with playing other people's songs. Sometimes I figure the song out and it's how they played it. Sometimes it's not at all how they play, or it's different. Like it's like they do the lead part right up. They do the lead part up here, using your B and G string. I'm up here using the G and the D. You can, and it's like the sound, and like so sometimes like I'll do that when I'm playing, where I'll just play it both ways. I'll play it in different positions everywhere I know to play it. So it's like, okay, I'll play this, section of this chorus, like this pass, and then okay, this one we'll do it this way. And it's just keeps it interesting to me, interesting, and keeps you like on your toes. I guess I don't know. It's fun, but yeah, like I tend to not care so much if it's exactly like the thing at a certain point. It's like I said, it's like I've said this before. It's if you catch me when I first learned it, yeah, I'm all into it, playing it exactly like that. Then after I've learned it, it's like I no longer care because I've absorbed whatever essence or piece of whatever it was and folded it into my style. Um, which is kind of what I thought the whole point of playing music yourself
Isn't
what
it?
was about was to make your own style, and like it's kind of a hodgepodge between your own that sensibility your own sensibilities, but in sense of taste mixed with these stimuli that are there, that you can take this piece and this piece and this piece and this piece and weave it into this own thing. Um, really neat, and it's like this is one of my favorite things to just listen to a lot of music, like different styles of music, because they'll give you stuff. That's kind of like one of the whole deal with Animals in Denial, why the Crash Course volumes exist. Um, when I got that idea, because it's like in the past I put the music out way too quickly. Um,
It was fun.
yeah, it was, but it's way too quickly, and like there was stuff that like had this stuff been ready, I might not feel that way. But like I just wanted to just do something. It was a thing to just do it.
So
So
you did.
it did. But anyway, I get to the crash course thing because it's like when I listen to the thing, people go, "Well, what kind of style of music is it?" It's kind of rock. It's kind of industrial. It's kind of funky.
It's kind of a little bit of everything.
It's kind of new wavy. Sometimes it's kind of. It depends on the song, and so that's the thing. Like it's like that was, it's like I call it the playlist genre because it's like you you know way people listen to music now. It's like there's not one style of thing there most of the time. Most of the time, people have got a mix of a lot of stuff. It's one of
Variety.
those things. It's like some of my hardcore industrial friends have a lot of Madonna in their playlist. This is not something you'd go Nights Are Ebb,
I wouldn't have
Skinny
expected that.
Puppy, Madonna. Like what? But no, there's a healthy amount of people that it's a good amount of people that like these bands that like that too, whether they admit it or not.
That's kind of funny. I wouldn't have expected that. Madonna. I mean, I like Madonna, but you know what I'm saying.
And there's certain albums. It's not her entire
Right.
catalog or anything like that, but there's certain albums that people from that I notice tend to rock out to.
Interesting.
I mean, there's some good stuff there. I like the Human Nature song.
That is a good song.
Um, that's where I roll there with that. The video is cool too, but the song is. I like the bass line. It's one of those where I actually like the bass line more than I like the melodic part.
Erotica was a good album. It really was.
All right,
She had a lot of shit with that.
I'll take your word for it because I don't think I've actually listened to that album in its entirety. Heard pieces.
That was her After 2 a.m. video album where they played her stuff on MTV after like 2 a.m.
There was a
So they were a little
Raised
risque.
in Black. Is this industrial band? I think it's a guy, but I think I think it's like one. It's a solo musician, but like I think he did a cover. He did a really good Madonna cover. I can't remember what song it was, but it was really cool. Like it's if you go look up Raised in Black, he did a lot of cool industrial covers of stuff that you wouldn't think would fit. Like think like Richard Cheese, but cool.
Richard
It's a
Cheese.
completely different interpretation, and good song means it can be done any way. You could. That's the magic of a great song to me. It's like you could have some, band out of Nashville that's super country probably do a really good cover of Closer. Because Closer is a good song. You don't even have, like, that's kind of the thing. You take great musicians, great artists, whatever the genre, give them a great song, they'll do a great job with it.
True.
Kind of the magic of music, it's one of my favorite things about it. It's like, you know, even a standard I hold my own songs up to. It's like it's like, can you do this different way? That's kind of the reason why IOM exists the way it exists, because I was like, you know what, I like this song so much. Let's try a different way. Just try a different way. And we did it and stuff like that. And we're gonna start playing music on the streams, on these talking streams and stuff like that and stuff. There's some more stuff we're gonna be doing with stuff. And yeah, I'm not gonna get ahead of my skis, so we won't talk about things before they're not before there's a reason. But just know that we are heavy at work on all things animals in denial here.
Yes.
There is stuff going on every day. It feels like I don't do anything else, even though this wouldn't be true because I've 2 children and a fur baby and
For beast.
yeah,
More like.
yeah, but she's a big baby.
Indeed.
But yeah, it's
Gigantuan.
like it's not that I don't have a lot of stuff going on, but like there's a lot of stuff with animals. Um, I'm still not gonna say the names of the 2 new albums that will be. We'll we start down that road. 2025 is going to be a cool year. You're gonna get the crash. You're gonna get more of the crash course volumes. So you get more of a taste test sampling of the depth of how far the extremes. Like it's really in like it's trying to give you the extremes of like, okay, we'll go way far. We went in this far, way down this rabbit hole, and this one. And it's just not saying no to. It's like how you get there is not saying no to a good idea. Whatever the good idea is, if it sounds good, it's like roll with it. It's like there was Go Go, which is on volume 2 of the Crash Course. But that song, when that one came up, if you knew like the song that like preceded it that was written, it's like they're completely different. And I remember looking at Janine going, I don't know if I can get away with this. Can I do this? Like, aren't you?
Yes, you can.
We're like, start thinking about it, but it's like, okay, well, this isn't the '90s anymore. So it's not like you have to have this. Oh, it's this band, so all they make is this kind of music. It's like that's almost. If you think about it, it's almost boring, and like it's weird too, because it's like I've done it too, where it's like I'll listen to a band that makes a bunch of heavy stuff, and they'll come out with something that's lighter, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And it's like maybe check your own expectations of what they did. It's like if you want the record to sound like the old record,
Go
why
get
don't
the
you
old
just
record.
listen to the old record? Like I don't like it's like you start to at a certain point you just have to not worry about it, and it's like go on the fact that is it a good song? I don't care if it's just different for the sake of being different. It's like, is it worth it? Is it good? Now, my opinion is I just don't release the stuff that sucks. Um,
Yeah, if he doesn't like it, it's not going anywhere.
No, and I deleted.
Uh huh.
At a certain point, I just deleted because I'm not gonna release it. I don't want
I'd be
anybody to
lucky to
hear it.
hear it. If you don't like it, I don't even think I've heard some that you're like, nope.
No, it's like yeah, something you'll like, and that's if it doesn't get thrown to a mod content, which there'll be some news about that.
That's
We'll
true.
start updating people on that. But right now, we're wanting to get through this next single, the holidays and stuff. But yes,
Yeah.
ModCon news is coming. We've got releases planned for that too. We're not doing live streams for that or anything like
No.
that, but we'll just kind of talk about it because it's just me and her. It's a ModCon, short for Modern Convenience, and it's a project that me and Janine both equally contribute to, and it's basically us jamming out with synthesizers and stuff. And
Yes, there's no vocals.
there's no, yeah, it's
There's
all
no
instrumental. Yeah, no singing. We're not opposed to people doing that. Just
Yeah.
neither one of us want to do it.
No.
Like, it's kind of like it's like, okay, well, this is just turning in. If I sing on it, it feels like an Animal song. She sings on it, it's like a Lady Destro song, just her personal project, and like
That I may let someone see someday. Maybe.
I, it's her, it's her.
It is.
We
It's
have
me.
the songs.
Oh
She
yeah, no,
just
it's just me. That's why I said maybe.
she doesn't really want to do it as some days. So that's all. It's like learning a
I am.
language. You can't do it if you don't really want to learn the language. It's like it doesn't matter how much they stick you in school and how much they make you do the work, do the homework, read this, look at the it won't stick if you don't want it. So, for whatever reason, she has other things going on too. So it's not like her and the boys are 3D printing kind of monsters. Um, so that tends to be sucking up between that modern. She does a lot of stuff for animals too. When you're talking to management, you're talking to her or her team there. So they, she's got a lot on her plate. So I get it. If screaming into a microphone isn't the most exciting thing for you, it's fun for me. That's why I do that, and we kind of don't step on each other's toes that way. You know, let people be great at what they're good at, and not worry about the stuff that they don't even like doing anyway, or they don't feel like doing right then. It's like it's best to, I'd rather her come in and want to sing on some stuff where she's really pumped to do it, as opposed to going, come on, let's get this going. We want to put something else on. It's like, okay, well, I make enough music. We're putting stuff out.
I really enjoy ModCon because I can just disappear into my synth and that's it.
And that stuff is easy to do.
Yeah.
Like it, we have so much of that material. Um, but yeah, like I said, we're not opposed to other people singing on it, rapping on it, spoken word poetry. Um, I don't care, and I'm open to just letting you use it. Like we're not gonna take money from you or anything like that. Just explain where you got the music from. Just a little credit there. We don't actually. If you put your your force on it, keep it. Just tell people about it. But like it's literally like water for chocolate at this point with the amount of music that we keep generating, and it's not. I say generating. I'm making it. I do it. Um, I see the whole AI music generation thing and stuff like that, and it doesn't bother me at all. To be perfectly honest, it doesn't keep me from having ideas, and it can only, you know, it can only make the stuff that animals does is so varied that it's like even if you did, you'd have to for one, you'd have to copy a lot of songs.
Yeah.
Um, and it's only gonna
Ridiculously.
get you what I was listening to at the time. To be honest, it won't. You won't ever figure out exactly what my next, like what I would actually do in a new animal song, because it's always different. Like I know a lot of people say that.
That's
No, I
actually
really
true though
mean
when
that.
you
Like
say that.
it's I'm the way that I look at gear and the way that I look at make it records. It's like I try to make like I'm trying to reinvent the process every time I do it, and it's really easy to do when you just actually like take yourself. Like it's not about killing the ego or anything like that. No, just tame your ego. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Just tame it. Just let it know. Like you're not always right. You're not always the most. You're not always in control. So it's best to just let some things flow. And music is one of those things that you hear a good bass line, you hear a good drum lick. Like it really doesn't. It can seriously be the a great fill. Rage was written off of a great drum fill. The entire song basically was built because of that fill. And I'm like,
That's a song there. You're like the. I did not even think about that.
like, hey, you needed to do this. I'm like, and it all kind of put together, like it came together really quickly that way. And it's like I didn't say no to any of the stuff. I just let it happen. You say no at the end if what you get out sucks. Like if you sit doing like this and making the faces and or you pull back, it's like yeah, maybe that's not abort. Um, yeah, so for me, the stuff will never actually like it'll never know what I'm gonna do because it's like when I made that stuff that you're training the LLM on, I was listening to completely different shit. And so it's like whatever I'm listening to, if you know me or have created with me, whatever I'm listening to, that vibe, something will come out. Something will make its way in there. Like you can kind like if you know what you're listening for, you can kind of figure it out. What I was listening to, and you'll go, that's really weird to do that, but is what it is. Like one of my heaviest songs is was heavily inspired from a song that is not heavy at all.
Yeah.
Um, it's stuff like that. Like it just so it's like I don't really worry about that. In fact, I'm just interested in having fun with it because it's like what I there's a lot of stuff that couldn't be done and it's that you could do now. And there's some interesting things to do with things where it's that's where it's like I just want things to be made new. It's like I've had this thing where it's like I'm really on this kick of the way that I'm doing these massive layers of guitar recording and synth like it's like with modern computers and hard drives and stuff we have the ability to have track counts that you couldn't dream of with tape.
Oh yeah. Way more.
So that's just kind of the interesting stuff to me to do. It's like just stack guitar tracks, um, and I'm talking about ridiculous amounts of guitar tracks. Like I don't want to say, but it's like maybe 100.
Maybe.
Oh, there's no point. You don't know that. You don't
Wall
know
of
that.
sound.
Maybe there's not a point, but let's try it. See what happens. Instead of just using super powerful digital stuff to make the same stuff that we could do without the digital stuff, without the high-powered digital junk, kind of seems like leaving money on the table, meat on the bone, any of those things. So yeah, it goes. Um, there's stuff that's happening. I'm hopefully it'll be worth it. And if I was wrong, like I'll tell you, like yeah, it really doesn't matter. You can stop at this point. It won't. But how do you know?
You gotta go above and beyond first. No stone unturned. That's
Yeah, you
it.
got to try it. I say try it first and see.
Don't knock it till you
But
try
so
it.
far, what I've been doing, like so far, the results are. I don't think I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I think I may be onto something. So I'm going and like I've been like so that's been a thing, and then like I've noticed like the you don't have to change that much about the tone. Well, you can change small variables, seemingly small variables that completely change the sound and vibe and energy of the track. Um, it's like just an example. One of the last tracks I did was using this Fender Bassman model from the Mustang amp, and like going in through my SSL preamp sounds a little bit different than going into the color box. When you put both tracks together, they sound like when you do it, and it's too. It's a I did a reamping thing where I ran it through the two things. It's the same actual performance, but they sound like different performances just because of the preamp that's going into the main thing. And so yeah, like stuff like that wouldn't seem like yeah that won't make a big of a difference or it might make it. It actually made a nice difference to where it's like ooh, let's keep going with this. So that is the mission at hand. It's like like I said, I'm still in the midst of doing I'm still doing it, so I can't say for sure at this point whether this is this is the way or if this is interesting for this or not or yeah, because I mean it's like there's also too there's some stuff that works for some songs like there's some songs that don't they wouldn't be helped by extra layers like Chariot Ride. You're not really gonna do much. The way that song is, and what it is, wouldn't
What
be
makes sense?
adding extra layers wouldn't do anything. It's a stripped down, kind of simpler song, so kind of less is more, and that's the thing that I really, you can do more. Yeah, I could have played a guitar solo in there. I could have added a different another bridge. I could have added a bridge. I could have did all this other stuff. I could have did a bunch of other stuff. I could have added synths. Um I could have added a breakdown. Like there's
You could have
I
done
could
a
have
lot of
added
things.
drums.
Yeah.
But when I sat down with drum machines, drum kits, whatever I tried, it didn't feel right. I could get something that worked musically. I mean, works, but
Not necessary.
messed with the vibe. Messed with the song. It took focus away from the song itself to where you're focusing on this part. And that's kind of the thing that I'm always aware of with animals. It's like I'm not every song that I'm making, and it doesn't matter what I'm creating. If I'm creating with other people, because in bands I've been, I'm not gonna overplay. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm not gonna overplay on drums. I'm not gonna overplay on guitar. I'm not gonna overplay. Um, if the part, if the other parts in the song are lending itself to go crazy on guitar or nuts on drums or you know, slapping the crap out of the bass or doing some really wild, volume swells and gnarly filter stuff on it with a synth. If that stuff's not right for the song, you're just kind of showing off. Like I remember, like when we had bands. These bands we were starting back in the day, and we get these people that went to, I went to music school, and so they were coming out like, super shredders. and it's like they were doing it on every section part of the song where it's like, okay, well, this is the spot where the singer sings the verse, and like you kind of want to be, well, I'm just harming it. It's like, yeah, but it kind of takes away from the song. It's like, what, you
It's
know,
not about you, buddy.
it's about the entire song. It's like some songs, there don't need to be any guitars in the verses, like at all.
Yeah, that's true.
And then there's, like I said, there's like one of the things I picked up from rap and hip hop is how it's like the beat doesn't have to change that much. Like you can create movement with the rest of the sounds changing,
Right.
and not necessarily that. And which focuses, which really makes you kind of laser focus on having a good hook, and that gets you into having a good riff, good licks, those things, that good drum fill, nice tight beat, tight grip, like it'll get like it'll kind of shape you and push you in the right direction so that you get something that's actually sweet. Um, but these are like, I don't think there's a wrong way to write songs or the best way, because I don't even have one way that I do it. Like it depends on the song and just what I'm hearing in my head that tells me, that's what informs what gear choices or anything else. Like that's why I said it's like the way that I operate with this stuff is a little bit different than other people that do it. It's like the gear, I know what all the gear does. So it's not that I'm experimenting like that. It's like I have these things because there's certain there's an amount of sounds. It's like my Nord Lead 2. There are lots of other virtual analog synthesizers out there. There's lots of other analog synths. I have some of the other VA synths that are out there and stuff like that, but I know how to get this one to do the stuff that I want it to do. Most of the analog synths that I don't own, I know how to get this thing to get me close enough. So when I hear something in my head, my brain's automatically going, okay, I'm going to use my Nord Lead 2 for this. I'm going to use Ableton Live for this because I'll need something that I want to run a sequence from, or I'll need a sample that I want to play from, or something, or I'm going to record a sample to it from the Nord Lead to use it this way because I basically want it. I don't own an MPC because I have Ableton and keyboard controllers and lots of computers. The computers are, and it's really cheaper to buy a computer than and a controller than it is an MPC. These days, it's crazy. It's crazy. There's so much stuff. I'm not seeing a brand new computer. No.
No.
Something on the vintager, retro-y kind of side. But yeah, that stuff kind of works. So, well, yeah, like it's better than the word Apple uses, which is obsolete for machines.
Yeah, it's not vintage or obsolete. Vintage or retro. It's obsolete. It's done.
But it's like, what do you mean it's obsolete? It is a quad-core processor.
It still works.
32 gigs of RAM. Like, you can't run samples from that?
You can, but not according to Apple.
Yeah, you can, and it's cheap. And the interfaces that you pair these things with are also cheap because they're old.
Yeah.
But they still sound good. Firewire is your friend sometimes.
Just gonna say Firewire. Because
yeah, I know. USB-C, Thunderbolt 4, Thunderbolt 5, Thunderbolt 99.
But Firewire.
But yeah, Firewire still works.
Quite well, actually.
Still works. Not all I use, but it's just the point. Set these things up like a thing.
You can.
Which we'll be doing some. There's going to be videos about me talking more about this and my kind of processes for stuff and stuff that I think is cool and not and stuff. Like, I mean, up until relatively recently, I still had a Power PC machine. operating and actually doing all the stuff that it did when it was new, which was running Logic 9.
A lot of
I mean, no, like I literally ran Logic 9. Like I mixed a bunch of the early Animal songs, the albums with the G5. It was the dual processor model. It wasn't the quad G5. I never got my hands on one of those. I did get the dual processor. I do have a couple of dual processor G4s. Mirador. And I still have my G4 iMac, which there might be the case that I might actually start using that again.
that is it's a cool looking iMac. It's so not.
Yeah,
the
and I
same.
saw there's a mod board, a mod logic board that you can buy from this company that basically allows you to run. You can put a modern hardware. You can put modern stuff in it. Like there's a video that I saw a guy put a M4, took one of the new M4 minis apart and put an M4. So he's got an M4 mini G4.
That's cool.
Which was the better iMac design, you know.
I was just saying, I'm like, I
screen
really
swivels
wish they kept
around.
making
They
them
just
like
had,
that.
I don't know, like.
Like you can literally just pick
Well,
it
it's
up.
not
Like
all in one. If it's not on the screen, it's like it doesn't have to be all on the screen. It could have been. Keep putting the computer in the base.
It was all in one.
It was all
this
one
round
unit.
base with
The unibodies weren't really unibody either. So, like, you know, come on, man. Like, just. But,
really
you know,
like
we
that
don't
computer.
actually need Apple to make this because you can just do this. This can just be done. But, yeah, like, you know, it's like, you'll see some of these older Firewire interfaces, and it's like, you just need something to be ahead so you can run the digital mixer thing, the software that runs it and stuff, and then you just use that. You go, the power, because it's like, really? Look. Go look at your power bill. Turn the space heater off. Try that. I don't know.
Stop running that.
What's it worth to you?
Stop running that electric fireplace.
Yeah, like the amount of friends that I have that have jacuzzis and other things like that, and
Gotta run those jets.
4-wheelers, all kinds of neat things,
Yeah.
and then complain about the cost of music equipment.
Well.
You can build an entire recording rig way cheaper than buying one of those things. So it's just like what you want.
Yeah.
I'm not judging anybody or anything like that. It's just people spend their money on what they want to spend it on. When I was a kid, I spent a lot of money on bubble gum. Seriously. Bubble
Really?
tape.
Oh my God, I
Remember the bubble
that.
tape?
Yes.
It was only good like when you chewed it, like the first chew, and then you spit it out.
Yes.
And you, or
Shit
the
was awful.
what was the baseball looking one? It was like tobacco. but like,
Big League Chew.
yeah, that was it. Big League Chew. I like that.
It was.
And the bubble tape. That was.
Oh my God, I remember that stuff. It came in the pouch, and you like could roll it up like the old school snuff pouches.
Yeah, and you always thought like it was gonna last you, but it never did.
No.
It's like you'd be rolling it up. And
I used to take it out and just make a ball. I used to play with my food a lot.
I didn't do that.
Well, I didn't really. I was a Bazooka Joe. Like, you know, I'm gonna put the gum in my mouth. It's like impossibly hard to chew. That's what I was getting. I wanted the damn comics. That's all I wanted. Bazooka Joe for the comics.
I give you that. I like the Cracker Jacks because of the prize.
Yeah, it's definitely not because of the popcorn in it.
But
That
you know the
shit's
last
awful.
box of Cracker Jacks that I bought, there was supposed to be a prize and there was nothing in the bottom.
You know what that happened to me?
I was like,
You know what?
who do you report for this? Like,
as an adult, I wanted some Cracker Jacks because I hadn't had them since I was a kid because this is something my grandparents always had in their house. Always. But as an adult, I wanted the actual popcorn, and so I bought one, and I was like, oh, I wonder what the prize is, and there was no fucking prize. I was devastated, and I'm like, wait, what do I care?
that kept.
Usually stuff like.
Did you like take the bag out the bottom and stuff too? Like you're like.
I went through the whole thing. I dumped because it didn't have a bag in it. It was just the box, and so I dumped the whole box out into a bowl.
It's
Even
like there's always
and there was
supposed to be
nothing.
a prize.
Even though it's probably some chintzy like little paper throwaway prize that it's gonna disappear in like 5 seconds anyway.
I know,
But
it's
it was
just
the
the
point.
point. Yeah.
I was like, "Where's my prize? This is bullshit." I
I
didn't
mean,
buy it for
like
that,
at least
but
with Lego, like if you get a set and the block's missing, they send you the block.
true. I stopped. You know what though? After that, I went and bought Crunch and Munch
Like
because
with,
at least they
but
don't lie and tell me there's
with
a
Cracker
prize.
Jack, there's no number to call when they don't give you the
No,
prize.
there's not.
It's like, somebody
It's
knows
ripping you
about
off.
that. Like they owe me and her a prize. That's
Yeah.
two prizes you owe us, Cracker Jack.
Yeah.
So I've not. I won't purchase another box until I get my prize.
I actually didn't. I
Me
haven't.
either. Me either.
I
That
went and
burned
bought-
me.
I went and bought Crunch and
'cause you
Munch
were scarred.
instead.
You were burned. You were scarred for life.
Yeah. I grew up. My grandparents used to buy when you could buy them like the three little individual boxes taped together.
Yes.
My grandparents always had them. They made sure they had them, and it was one of those nostalgia things, and it totally like screwed me over. I was devastated, for sure. So I went back Crunch and Munch instead because it wasn't the same. It's butter toffee, but it worked at the time.
I went back to eating Twizzlers and mostly meat. Let's just be honest here.
Oh my
like,
god!
meat is like candy and sweets to me.
If it's bacon, maybe. Like
No,
then I
any kind of meat. It's always the dessert. Like I don't eat dessert with dinner because
because you eat the meat.
the
last.
meat is the last thing. I eat everything else first. I eat the vegetables first, and then I eat the meat. The meat's the last thing. Like I make it.
No.
There's some nights. It's not often, but there's some nights where it's like I'll just eat a plate of meat.
Why? I don't know.
So there's a steak. You got the beef. You got the chicken. You got
Fish.
the fish. Water meat. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Discriminate. I'll eat anything.
But there's no pork in there, unless there's bacon.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not the
not gonna
biggest
add-
pork guy.
Pork's not really.
I
all
just
that
grew
good
up
for you,
not
though.
eating it that much. I don't know. I just didn't grow up eating it that much. So now when I eat too much of it, I get a headache.
Yeah. I don't know.
So I don't really eat pork. But
I mean, I could probably eat a pound of bacon if you let me. But it's
turkey.
too dry.
I don't really like turkey either.
It's
but
because it's dry.
it's the way that it's prepared because I've had some fried turkey and it was excellent.
Mhm.
I had smoked turkey that was pretty good. Like there's this restaurant in Asheville, Jackson's Deli, that they made the best freaking smoked turkey sandwich that money could buy. It was worth every penny.
Is that Moose Jackson Cafe or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I said the name.
Yeah, that place was good. I remember that show.
Don't change the name of it. I said it, but yeah, it's like so. Depends on how it's made. I figured that much out, but yeah, alligator's good.
Kind of tastes. It actually does kind of taste like chicken.
It tastes like better chicken.
Yeah. I've
like-
fried it.
I would
I've made fried
rather
alligator.
it's good on a sandwich. It's better on a It's like chicken, but it's got a sweeter, like juicier taste.
It's different.
It's just better. It's like I said, it's better. It's better. But
It is. It's similar to that.
yeah, there's nights where I just eat meat plates. But it's not. Usually, it's just meat and vegetables. That's anybody was ever wondering about my diet. It's meat and literally vegetables. Lots of vegetables.
Yeah. Lots of green vegetables.
Yeah, and meat. Not as much meat as you would think it is. Like,
No.
yeah, you can catch me with a big porterhouse steak, but I can also eat a 6-ounce
Flintstone steak.
sirloin too.
Yeah. Shrimp.
Like
and
it's
sirloin. You're
yeah, like if so it's like I don't overeat, obviously, because
good. That bulk is that jacket. It's puffy.
I'm bulky. I look bulky.
No, the extra bulk because you're skinnier
Oh, yeah.
than that.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah,
I'm just saying. No, you have muscle and stuff in there. He's
I
lean.
miss taekwondo.
Yeah.
I am not in shape like I was when I was doing that. but it's okay. I'm not doing that stuff right now. I want to though. I want to, and at some point, I will. I will get to finish what I started. But right now, we got lots of stuff with music to do. We've got a new single that's outrage. We've got another one coming
December 6th.
December 6th.
Operator.
Go to animalsindenial.com. Sign up for the mailing list. You'll get all of the news. I'm going to go and see everyone later. Hopefully, we're going to find out what happened with the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight.
Yep. Gotta go check that out.
Yes. And probably watch Bleach. All right. On that bombshell, see